GM to everybody present here. I am your host. My name is Ram Kumar, and I will be the host for this evening. And on the other side is our very own seasoned trader Aryan, and he was the one who's going to be taking us through the charts and the lessons and the tips. So, to everybody who's new, let me introduce this whole series to you. The series is called The Seasoned Trader, and this is basically where we educate all Brainers and all people who are present on our Discord about how to trade. We have started from the very basics, and the first two lessons, in case you haven't had the chance to attend it, are on our YouTube channel. The links will be shared on chat shortly. Yeah, so I've introduced, and this is like the third episode where Aryan will be briefing us about newer topics. Yeah, so that's it. Welcome to everybody. I'm super excited to have you all this evening, and the mic is over to Sharat. Aryan, our season trader.
Thank you so much, Ram. Hi, everyone. How are you guys? So, before I start with today's session, let's recap the previous two sessions that we had. So, the very first session that we had, we covered the most important and the most basic aspect of trading, and that is figuring out the trend. And let me just go over to the chart to show you how to do it. Now, for example, if I am on the hourly chart and I want to trade on the hourly chart, to find the trend, what I basically do is go over to a bigger time frame, which is say a 4-hour chart, and then I zoom out a bit on the chart, and whichever trend seems very visible to me, here I can clearly see that the trend is on the upside. I will want to take my position there. All right, this was the very first session that we had. After that, in the next session, we covered various candlestick patterns such as the morning star, the evening star, the doji, the spinning top. And finally, now here we are with the third session. And in this third session, we are going to go over 3 high probability chart patterns that I personally use. And I'm also going to tell you where to place your stop loss, where to place your target, and also a few lesser known tips that you can use to improve your trading. So let's start this. The first pattern that we're going to talk about is the flag and pole pattern. And personally, this is my favorite. And that's because it has a very high probability of hitting the target, and also it is very commonly found in bull runs. Now, another good part about this pattern is that it inherently tells me what the trend of the market is. Just looking at this pattern, I can figure out that the trend of the market is on the upside because I have this strong up move here. So in this pattern, we get a strong up move. Then we have a consolidating range in which the market rests for a period of time. And finally, we get a breakout of this zone as well. We most probably get a retest, and after that, the market zooms up again. Let's go over to the chart to see it in real time. Okay, we'll switch to the weekly chart. And very recently, Bitcoin has been giving this pattern quite frequently. For example, if we look at the chart here, I had a very strong up move. And remember, in this up move, I want to see good volumes on my side, which is on the upside. I have good volumes. And then after this up move, the market started to move in a range, right? It started to consolidate and correct a bit. And during this consolidation phase, I want to see less volume, and that's what we see here. We see lower volumes comparative to the volume that was there when the market was moving up. So the volumes also become muted. And finally, when I get a breakout of this pattern as well, let me move on to a lower time frame. All right, this is where we were on the weekly chart. So after this up move, the market starts to consolidate and gives this range to me. Now I finally get a breakout of this range as well here. And this is where I will initiate my position. So I will buy here. I will keep my stop loss right below the low. And my target for this trade will be half of the previous move. So I will measure the previous move, which I can see here is around 8,800 points, and my target will be 4,000, 4,400 approximately, and we can see that we very clearly achieved that target. So this is the first pattern that we have. Moving on to the next pattern, which is basically the bearish version of the flag and pole, which is the inverted flag and pole. Now, in this, what I want to see is a strong move on the downside. Then I want to see some consolidation. And remember, whenever we enter a consolidation, we want to see lower volumes than before, than we had when the strong move was there on the downside. We want to see lower volumes. And then finally, we want a breakout. Most probably, we will get a retest, and that's when we'll enter. And then the market will start moving in the downtrend again. Let's try to see this on a real chart. Let's move back to the weekly time frame. On this weekly chart, I can very clearly see that the market gave me an inverted flag and pole. So I have a strong move on the downside, then I see some consolidation, and the market broke out of this consolidation zone and gave another strong move on the downside. And when I'm looking at this chart, what I'm waiting for is good volumes on my side, and I want a breakout of this consolidation zone. Once I get the breakout of this consolidation zone, I sell here. I'll keep my stop loss right above the previous high, and my target, as I told you previously, will be half of the previous down move. So the previous down move was about 34,000 points, and here you can see we clearly achieved that target again. But remember, whenever we get this consolidation, I want this consolidation to be in that 50 to 60% range. I don't want to cross the 50 to 60% range. And that's what we'll see here. Using the Fibonacci tool, we can see that this consolidation corrected only about 38 to 40% of the previous downfall. If this price would have moved beyond the 78% zone, which is here, then I wouldn't have taken this position, because the market is telling me that although the trend was on the downside, but the market has started to recover, and it has started to recover very strongly. And in that situation, we will avoid trading. And we will look for situations in which the consolidation is only about 50 to 60% off the previous downfall. Or if we are in an uptrend like we were here, again, if we try to measure it, it is in that 50 to 60% zone. It hasn't crossed the 78% mark. And once it crosses the 78% mark, I am out. I'm not taking this trade anymore. Moving to the next pattern that we have, and that is the ascending triangle. Now, just like the flag and pole pattern, the ascending triangle also tells me the inherent trend of the market. It already tells me that the market is on the upside, and I'm just waiting for that consolidation zone to break with a very good volume, and that's when I'll buy. I'll keep my stop loss right below the low, and I'll keep my target as the 50% of this consolidation zone. Let's try to look for this on a real chart. Here we have the Solana USD chart, and I can see that I am getting a triangle pattern here, an ascending triangle pattern here. So essentially what I'm looking for is a breakout of this level, right? Whenever I get a breakout of this level, I will keep my stop loss right here, and my target will be 50% of the widest part of this triangle. So the widest part of this triangle, as I can see here, is about 18 points, right? So my target for this will be approximately 9 points. So once I get a breakout of this, I will go for a 9-point target, and my stop loss will be right here. Now this trade hasn't initiated yet, so I'm still waiting for the breakout on this. Once I get a breakout, I'll enter this trade. The next pattern is, again, the bearish version of the ascending triangle, which is the descending triangle. Now, I couldn't find a recent example of this pattern, but this pattern is essentially a strong down move with good volume. Then I want to see some consolidation. Now, remember, the longer the market consolidates, the better it is for us, because I know that the longer the market consolidates, the buys and sell orders are building up in the market. And whenever the market breaks out, I will get that strong move. It's like it's like that car that we used to have in our childhood. The more you coil it up, the faster it goes. That's what happens here. So the longer consolidation there is, the stronger the move we get after the consolidation is over. All right, the next pattern is the cup and handle. This is a very unique pattern, and it comprises of a rounding bottom. And in this rounding bottom, we continuously get price rejections from the downside. So the price moves down, comes up again, moves down, comes up again, and this happens continuously over a period of time. Finally, when this rounding bottom is over, we will get again a tight consolidation. Once I get a breakout of this tight consolidation, that is when I will take my buy order. I will place my trade. I will keep my stop loss right below the low, and my minimum target for this trade will be 50% of this, and my next target will be 100% of this. Let's go over to the real chart and try to apply this. I think I saw this pattern in 2015, somewhere here, I guess. Yes. Right here we have. So you see this rounding bottom. The market goes down, comes up again, goes down, comes up again, goes down, comes up again, continuously getting rejection from the downside. So the buyers are coming in again and again and saying that, okay, we are not going to allow the market to stay at this price, and they'll buy up again. Again, the bears will come in, they'll push the price down, but the buyers are again aggressive. They will say that, okay, we are not going to accept this price, and they'll push the price further ahead. And after this rounding bottom, we again get this consolidation zone. Once we get a breakout of this consolidation zone is when we will buy, when we place our order. We buy here, we keep our target right below this low, and our target, we'll keep the stop loss right below this low, and our target for this trade will be 50% of this move. So if we try to measure this move, it's approximately 289 points. So our target on the upside will be somewhere around 140. And as you can see, we have clearly achieved that. I mean, we have like overachieved, I don't know how many times. So again, this is a very, very strong pattern that we rarely see on the chart, but whenever we see it, don't miss it. The next pattern is the bearish version of the cup and handle, which is the inverted cup and handle. Now, what we see in this pattern is basically a rounding top instead of a rounding bottom that we saw in the previous pattern. We see a rounding top. And in this rounding top, we get continuous price rejections from the upside. So the buyers buy and move the price up. The sellers then come in and say that, okay, we're not going to accept this price. They push it down. The buyers come up again. The sellers come in again and push the price further down. And that's how it keeps moving. We get a rounding top. Once this rounding top is over, we get a tight consolidation. After that consolidation, whenever we get a breakout, that's when we will sell. So we'll sell here, and our stop loss will be right about the previous high, and our target, again, as I mentioned, will be 50% of this, and our next target will be 100% of this move. All right, so with this, we end our third session. In our next session, we'll be covering even more interesting topics. We'll be going over how to use speed and time in your technical analysis. And we're also planning to have some live trades that we'll do here on Discord live. So stay tuned, and Ram will take over now.
Thank you, Aryan. That was very informative. Okay, guys. Hope you all had understood a few things. If there are any questions, we will be taking them out. please put it on the chat box. I will be reading them out and Aryan will be answering them to you. Any questions you have, and it needn't be related to these particular charts or trend lines specifically. If you have any other doubts that you've come across on your daily trading basis when you're looking at other trades, please feel free to ask us. This is your.
No, thank you. The clear and detailed explain. Thank you.
Most welcome. Anybody else who has any questions or want us to go over any chart and analyze that chart, feel free to put it in the chat box or you can unmute your mic. I think Aryan is trying to say something.
Okay.
Yes. I
Yeah,
guess we
Aryan?
don't have it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ram.
Cool. Also, one more point. If you at also, it's not necessarily that you can only ask questions now. At any point during the day, you feel like you have any questions that you want some professional to clear it, or you have a specific chart you want us to analyze, or any advice that you would like to seek, you can always reach out to us on our Discord. We have specific channels where you can ask questions. They are always open to you. Or you can DM any one of us mods. We are always there to help you. Okay, since we have completed the lessons, I have a few updates to share with you guys, after which we can end for the day. So yeah, update number one. As you guys remember, the third episode has been happening after quite a bit of time. The last episode was a few weeks ago, and we have had continuously good responses from all of you. There has been positive responses from your side, and which is why we have decided to continue the series. The next episode will be there very soon. Aryan and I were just talking about it today, and we are super excited to continue. Me to be a host and Aryan to continue teaching you guys. So stay tuned to get all updates on our chat and on our Discord and on our Twitter. Okay. Apart from that, we have recently completed our investment round, and the company's evaluation is right now 100 million, and we are super happy to share that news with you guys. You guys might have been aware of it through our Twitter and all, but I wanted to personally share it with you guys because it's something we are really proud of. Second is we have recently we are on Galaxy. It's a new way for us to interact with our Prime nerds and the people who want to interact with us. You can do your quests and you can earn XP. Soon we will have a few things on board which we want to share with you guys. Updates will be coming out soon. The Trader Nerds current sprint will be ending this weekend, and we have another lined up coming up very soon. We have some exciting projects that we have created to interact with our users. So yeah, that's it. And yes, I guess we are done. Thank you to everybody who has joined us on your busy schedule. Thank you for taking your time. This would not be possible without you. For all of those who have had any sort of internet issues or any sort of, you couldn't hear anything properly, technical issues, do not worry. You will be able to access this episode on our YouTube channel. The link will be shared to you very shortly. Yeah, thank you to everybody who joined. Thank you, Aryan, for taking time from your busy schedule. Yes, you.
Yes, the first of all, thank you for possibility to give us the chance to training with the trading, and the speech that was creating by your company is great. Thank you, guys. But the most I read the a different branch in the Discord, and most of the people is asking regarding the salt scope. What are they expecting for? Why they are gathering for? And you guys, you are not open the cards for a time being. And if you can, please share it with us information regarding this scope.
Ram, you're muted.
Yeah. There have been a few concerns, and we are thoroughly working on recognizing those. Though, if there are any issues, we will definitely work with you guys. We will get back to you on this shortly. Right? Anything and anytime you can please reach out to me. My Discord user ID is Broken Ryan. So yeah. Cool. Thank you, Aryan. Thank you to everybody who joined. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah. All right, guys. Let's have a good rest of the day. Thank you. I'll be your host. I'll look forward to meeting you again. Aryan, see you on the next AMA.
Thank you, Ram.